Hello, YouTube. So, I don't quite know how to start this off, but I have just finished watching the first 60th special with Doctor Who. It finished airing maybe 20 minutes ago or so, and it was very, very good. Um, I'm doing this off the top of my head here, so don't be surprised if I start rambling on a bit. So I guess I'll just start from the beginning and move all the way to the end. And this is just going to be giving my thoughts. Spoilers will be in here, so yeah. So I definitely like the way they opened it. I think it was a good way to recap people on the show without them needing to go back and watch it. But I think they took the right call with that, and I think having the Doctor and Donna narrate it was quite good, and I definitely like the new title sequence. I think it was good as well. Definitely a bit of a change to being more of a high budget title sequence compared to the previous title sequences, which were in looks, not in. I'm not saying this was simplistic in what and how it was done, but I'm just saying in looks it was usually rather simplistic. Even in the more complicated ones, like the Peter Capaldi intro, the Peter Capaldi title sequence, even though that one was definitely more complex, especially at the start, it was still rather simple for a Doctor Who title sequence. It's more average. This new one though is very much on. It's very much on a really high quality compared to the. So I think that's something the Disney deal has benefited Doctor Who with, allowing it to have more, freedom with what they can do. Of course, with the bigger budgets, they are able to do this. I can't remember what the first scene was. I think it was the Doctor landing in London, and then he comes across, and he's walking down the street, then comes across Donna Rose. I can't remember his name. Donna's husband. I want to say Tyler, but I don't think that is it. If you guys remember, then tell me below. I want to say Clive, but I think that's the Sarah Jane Adventures character I'm thinking of. Yeah, I can't remember it, but if you remember, then let me know. There's also Sylvester, and then the spaceship crashes with the Wrath, who I assume were carrying Beep the Meep. And then as it progresses, we have more. Yeah, get to learn a bit more about Rose and how Donna's been going on with her life. We get to see how Sylvester is struggling with Sylvia, sorry, is struggling to take care of Donna with the high risks, especially with the spaceship crashing. And then we meet a young boy, and we get to see the crashed escape pod. We meet Beep the Meep with Rose, and I think they really made him look cute, and especially his second scene in the shed. That was so that was so sad, but yet so sweet. And I know he's an evil criminal, but still, but I'll get to that scene. I'm going off the top of my head on what I can remember here. I think after that though, we have a scene of the Doctor infiltrating the base thing, and such, and we get introduced to the one of the scientists. I can't remember her name, but she's the one that had the weapons on her wheelchair, and I think they did again another good explanation on why it's going to be why the Doctor and Donna are going to act the way they are, and I think it's again another good catch up with how they did it. Then I think we get to the scene where Rose goes into the shed, and we have that sweet little scene with Beep the Meep. him wanting the Toy Speed Stones is just so sweet and cute, but even though although he is acting, it's still really sweet and stuff. Anyways, then Donna comes in. Beep Meep is hiding as one of the toys. Then he gets poked in the eye by Donna, which will never fail to be funny. Then the doctor comes in and such on that. We have intercuts, I think, between units and the Meeps, not Meeps, the Meep, Beep the Meep, and the soldiers. I'm not too sure if they are coming in. If I'm putting them in the right order. So yeah. Then I think they get infected by Beep the Meeps or the thing. Yeah, many people were thinking that was something like with the toy maker. I think that's what many people were thinking, but no, it's just Beep the Meep. To be honest, it did look more like the new sort of time vortex they has, with like the rainbowish colours. But to be honest, I did start to think it was the toy maker when he started to infect the unit soldiers. And before it was revealed it was Beep that was controlling them, I definitely thought it was the toy maker. Knowing the toy maker, as if you remember, I went back and rewatched his original story from the first Doctor Reaver for the 60th specials, and one of his lines was, "He's a bad loser. He always destroys the Destroyer." And so I was thinking maybe he knows Beep the Meep is going to lure the Doctor towards him, and so he's taking control of the soldiers to fight off the Wrath, so he can have the Doctor come to him. For some reason that feels like such a toy maker thing to do. For some reason it feels so much like the Celestial toy maker to do that. Especially because he loves to have fun. I can definitely see him doing stuff like that just for amusement. I can just see him enjoying that. However, then they have a bit of a chase scene. The Doctor makes a sonic force field for them to escape after he gets in the noble house. His last name's Temple, Donna's husband. I can't remember his first name. I keep on forgetting it. But they go into the attic, the loft, and they go into the next door house. I must say though, it was incredibly funny when it was just calm music when they were going. There's a lot of moments in the episode where I gave a silent laugh. It was it was so many great moments, even if it wasn't meant to be funny. I would keep on giving like silent laughs with it. But then that was definitely a funny scene, especially when Beep the Meep went Beep Meep Meep when going by when they were trying to be quiet. Then they get out the neighbour house, and they and they escape, and then they in the parking, whatever you call them. Can't remember what they're called. And then the Doctor somehow teleports to Wrath there with his new sonic screwdriver, which I must say I do like the design of. He puts on a judge wig and acts as the judge, and the Wrath explain what's really going on with the Meeps after Beep the Meep previously mentioned, after having his paw bandaged by the Doctor, that he told a lie saying the Wrath hunt down Meep kinds to for something like that, and now and they keep on doing it and breaking the laws of the Shadow Proclamation or whatever it was, and now so I feel lots of and ums. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, no script here. Okay, back on track. And so then the Wrath make the correct thing, and Beep the Meep becomes less cute. It looks more evil and creepy and scary, and kills the two Wrath. I think more unit soldiers come in and take them away. So then they go to the crash. No, I say crash. I think it's the parking spot that Beep the Meep landed in. After this after he's that point in the parking garage, though, I don't know if that's the correct term. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But after that scene, I feel like Beep the Meep just didn't get enough action. It was a big reveal for those that didn't know Beep the Meep before. I didn't know Beep the Meep before watching these, but when it was said that Beep the Meep was going to be in the 60th special, there was people talking about who Beep the Meep was, and so I sort of knew he was going to be evil in the end. But I do think it was a good reveal, but I think it just fell a bit flat with basically all he really did in the after that point was for a scene, sit in the chair and talk about who we'll eat next, and talk about the future of Meep kind or whatever it was. Then just sits in his spaceship for the rest of the third act, and then we get into the very end, the climax, not the climax, it's after the climax, but and he's standing there with the wrath and goes into prison. I really don't like how they managed that. I think he should have had a bit more to do, especially after it's been revealed he was evil. So I don't know how true it was to his evil characterization. I think they got the nice, cute characterization down. I'm not too sure about the evil one though. But that's basically what they did for Beep, and basically the Doctor and Donna have to stop Beep the Meep from they get out after the girl in the wheelchair uses the wheelchair weapons to take down two of the guards. Then the Doctor and Donna go into Beep the Meep's spaceship, and then they try and take it. They try to stop it from going off, but then they get split up, and the Doctor has to make Donna remember, and she sort of explodes into regeneration energy, but she doesn't die. She's able to withstand it, and she fixes everything, becoming the Doctor Donna again. Then breathe. And then it's all sorted, and she thinks she dies, and the soldiers, they are released from such and such after Rose or some things, I think, and yeah, they are no longer in control of Beep. No longer controlled by Beep, and Donna comes back to life, and Beep the Meep gets launched out his spaceship and then lands with a parachute. No, we don't see the landing, but we know he has a parachute there. So yeah, it's a very cartoonish scene, that, and to me, he just looks like he's always been a bit funny and goofy around the edges, so I think that rather suited it. Especially, they've had cartoonish scenes before, like with Miss Foster in series 4, with her death, all the way back in Partners in Crime. So yeah, but sorry for the long pause, but yeah, they take and Beep the Meep, and he speaks about his boss. I'm not too sure if he did have a boss in the original comic series he appeared in, so I'm not sure whether that's going to be in Wild Blue Yonder. I will get into a bit of speculation on what Wild Blue Yonder will be, but I'm not too sure on whether it's the toy maker, which I find highly unlikely. I don't think the toy maker will make a deal like that, or if it's someone else that I just don't know about. But anyway, then Donna and Rose are freed on the Doctor Donna, and I actually think it was clever how they did it, and I think it was clever having it be passed down genetically to Rose. I think it was clever the way they did it, and they were able to let go. I'm not too sure about them letting it go. I think it would have been more realistic for them to like return it to the Doctor, return that portion of them to the Doctor, rather than just being able to let it go when the Doctor comes and they weaken that part of the Dr. Donna and Dr. Rose, as I'll call it, with themselves, and the Doctor's able to extract it away from them. Or I think that may have been the smart decision. I think that would have been a better decision, but I'm rather happy with what they took. Even if it does look like in the scene, even in the scene where Donna returns, it looks like she's regenerating. Same with Rose in the scene, and yeah. And so we have the final few scenes, and we get the new TARDIS interior, which was leaked a few months ago, but it was a concept art, and we've seen a few behind the scenes on the set building of it. But now we finally get to see it, and it looks amazing, I have to say. It looks absolutely amazing and stunning. I can see that set sticking around for quite a while for now. I think especially a set that big, I see them keeping it for the next few Doctors or so. They may not do, but who knows? I think they will. Yeah. That also explains why we saw the 14th Doctor on the console and the concept art. But I'm rather happy with that console room. I think it's one of the best. Nothing beats the Hartnell console room for me, the original console room. But I still like this new console room. What's funny though, it has a coffee machine, and then Donna accidentally spills it onto the TARDIS console, and it just sets on fire. Like, I don't think coffee would be that destructive. But I don't think it was going to. I don't think coffee would be that destructive, especially to a TARDIS. But alright, this is Doctor Who we're talking about. They can be funny and goofy when they like. And they set flight. I do like the mentions of Wilf though, and I think it was a good way to explain him not being there. I think they may bring him into Wild Blue Yonder, or whatever the last one was called. What was it called? Anyway, hang on, let me do a bit of Google search. What is the last 60th Doctor Who special called? Right, onto Wikipedia. The Giggle, that's what it was. The Giggle. So it's either going to be in Wild Blue Yonder or The Giggle. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next week. So yeah, I think though I'm going to go into a bit of speculation on what could happen here in Wild Blue Yonder, because that's the episode we know the least about. Now, we hardly have any footage from it. I'm not too sure which pieces of footage are from it. I can't remember either, so I'm just going to go on as if there is no footage for it. If this contradicts the footage we've seen, then sorry about that. So I have a few ideas on where this would go based on the title. We know the Star Beast. That is sort of like that sort of refers to the Wrath or Beep the Meep coming from space and the stars and the crash landing on Earth. So that's self-explanatory. We pretty much know what the Giggle is going to be. We know it's going to be the toy maker, and we've heard him laugh quite a few times in the trailers. So we know that one's, and we already know that's going to be the one with the toy maker. But he may appear sooner. Who knows? I think he may have a bit of mention, and it will be cliffhangered at the end of Wild Blue Yonder. So I think Wild Blue Yonder will go along the lines of this. Will either, I think it will one. It could focus on them kind of jumping between locations they may have been in season 4, and so, or having quite like or like with the because the console's broken. This could allow like them to bring back Jenny if they like, or someone. So, or even like a rogue Sontaran that stay there for 15 years or so, however long it is. So yeah, I think they could try and do something like that, but I think the more likely one, maybe the one I'm about to say. It's still quite rather crazy, but I think it does suit the description of this character well. We may be seeing the return of River Song. Now, many people are putting this out online, so I'm not taking credit for this being my idea. It is other people's idea that River Song may return, and I think she can work in this. In Silence in the Library, she mentions that the face of the Doctor that she's seeing in that episode is the youngest she's ever seen him. Now, this is of course not just referring to the incarnations of the Doctor, but it could also refer to that specific face. It's the 10th Doctor, but of course there's the 14th Doctor, which looks exactly like the 10th Doctor, just a bit older. So that could be the thing that's related to it. This was not my idea, this was other people's idea. I'm not too sure who came up with it first, but I know it wasn't mine, and I'm sort of adopting it for this. We know River Song, she's rather wild in some of her things, like jumping off the edge of the skyscraper and relying on the Doctor to be there to catch her in her escapes and stuff. Just to think how many alternate universes must be out there where River Song fails in like thousands of miserable ways. Poor River. Luckily she's in that luckily she's in the Doctor Who universe, not an alternate Doctor Who universe. And so we know she's rather wild in some of the things she does. So that's one description of River. The next is blue. Now we all know what colour her diary is. It's blue, isn't it? Her diary. So that could refer to her diary. So we have royal blue. So this could be leading on to like maybe some of the wildest stories she has had. We could be going back to the library in Silence in the Library and the Forest of the Dead. I think those were the episode names. We could be returning to that. Maybe even see River herself there. Who knows? And the final word is yonder. Hey, what does yonder mean again? Meaning of yonder. Over there. At some distance or so. This is already another perfect description of yonder for River. It's another perfect description of River, because she's so far away from the Doctor at all times, but yet she's also so close. Because of how most of the timelines are, it's really hard to determine when they'll come, so it's not really hard, so it's hard to determine it's hard to determine whether she's going to be there or not, and we don't know whether she's over there or over there. And if it's wild, then that can mean, because it's wild blue yonder, this could be the one where the TARDIS runs away. It could be the TARDIS, like hopping about space and time. It could be River with a like wild diary over there, something like that. Or it could just be referring to River. Or it could also be referring to the Toymaker. Now, if you don't know, in the original Toymaker serial, the Toymaker made hundreds of clones of the TARDIS, and not all of them are the same. And this would perfectly also describe what he was doing in that serial. You have the Wilds, which is the TARDIS sort of became the Celestial Toymaker's wild cards, because they would often be fake. They wouldn't be big on the inside, they would just be empty, and they could open from both sides for some reason. But yeah, and so that's already rather wild, and it's blue because TARDIS. And yonder, it's over there you have to complete a mini game to get to it. So yeah, you have to complete a game of the Toymakers. So we could be seeing the Toymaker in here. It would make perfect sense, in my opinion. So, with all that out the way, what do I think of the Star Beast? I think it was a great episode. I think it was a great way to bring the Doctor and Donna back. I think it was a great way to get the show back going and get more viewers on. The amount of promotion they've been doing is amazing. And I think they have really started to take the right direction. Not that I didn't like the Jodie Whittaker either, because I know that's when a lot of people were starting to drop off on the show, and that was reaching deadly times because not just of COVID, but then they didn't know that the series would be continuing, and so Power of the Doctor was put in as like the final episode of Doctor Who. So I'm not too sure whether they'll. So I'm not too sure whether it's going to be. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. What am I talking? Yeah, I like the Jodie Whittaker either, and I'm quite happy with it. But I know not a lot of people like it, and I also have to agree. I'm not the biggest fan of a Timeless Child. I think it has potential. Don't get me wrong. I think it can work, but I don't think it's going to be something major in the show anymore. I don't. As if it was made. I'm saying it as if it was major before. It wasn't really that major either. It was sometimes being mentioned, but I think it is good. It's a good concept. It just doesn't work for being the Doctor. We know we're going to have some sort of Timeless Child mention also in the Wild Blue Yonder. That could be a reference to the Doctor himself, but then again, it's only going to be Russell has only said it's going to be minor. So in that case, it could be River, who may have got a new set of photos, and this is between like what was the episode called in series 9, I think, with the Christmas one. It's the one where they spend 10 years or 25 years on Trillium, whatever it was, Drivilium, and it could be between Drivilium and Forest of the Dead and Silence in the Library, and she has like a new set of photos of the Timeless Child's version of the Doctor. I know not a lot of people would like that, but that could still refer, that technically can refer to the Doctor in a way, can't it? Like the blue is the colour of his TARDIS, while he can be one of the wilds, and he's over there, he's everywhere. So there are so many possibilities with Wild Blue Yonder. I think it could be. I think it has a lot of potential for stuff. But I think what a lot of people are really wanting are I think a lot of people are just wanting to see the Celestial Toymaker. I know I'm one of those people that are wanting to just see the Celestial Toymaker, and I definitely want to see how well they've written him and how truthful to his original character they are. I definitely prefer his original outfit, but I like how they've sort of made his new outfit as sort of counterparts to the 10th Doctor's. Not the 10th Doctor's, the 14th Doctor's, sorry. So I think it's going to be interesting to see the Toymaker back. I think I wouldn't be surprised though if it isn't completely in line with his original characterisation and is a bit more murderous than his original one. And I would actually be quite fine with that. Watching the original serial, he did say in it that he always destroys the Destroyer when he loses his game. So if you win against him, you destroy his world, and that's his way of destroying you. But the Doctor escaped, and so he did not have the chance to destroy him. So what is he going to do? Is he going to hunt the Doctor down until the end of time, to the point where he can't run anymore, and so he has to give into the Toymaker? Because that feels like a very Toymaker thing to do. I feel like he's definitely not someone that would let you get off that easy. But I think he would also have a lot of amusement of playing the long game as well. So that's probably why it's taken him the better part of almost 60 years to initiate his acts against the Doctor. But yeah, and it's funny because the Toymaker just became one of the most well-known Doctor Who villains basically overnight. Because I don't think many people were really talking about him until the 60th specials, because I never really heard of him that much before. I was brought up on the New Era, but I've started to go back and watch the classic series, especially the William Hartnell era. That's definitely William Hartnell's definitely my favourite Doctor. But yeah. Overall, I like the Star Beast. I would probably give it 7 or 8 out of 10. I think. I'm not too sure, yes. But I know there are some issues with it. I think my main issue is Beep the Meep. And how they resolved the Dr. Donna and Dr. Rose, or Dr. Donna Rose thing, whatever I want to call it at this point, Dr. Donna Rose, I don't know, Donna Rose, however they're going, I think they could have given it back to the Doctor. I think that would have worked better rather than them being able to force it out. I get why they were able to do it, but I think it doesn't feel quite right for it to be done that way. And I think Beep should have been given a bit more to do in the third act and the climax. So yeah, this video is 30 minutes. Oh my god. Okay, I guess I'm going to end the recording here. So I guess I'll see you all next time. And thank you all for coming to this little review. Sorry for if I don't know if the visuals are going to be still or not. I don't know if it's just going to be one big visual throughout the video. But if it is, then I do apologise. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all next time, and I'll probably do a review next week on Wild Blue Yonder, and then the week after that I'll do one on The Giggle. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.